all bought and paid for. You're all thieves. Disgusting thieves.
Hey guys. G'day everyone and welcome back to another video. This one I just want to give you a quick update on the council meeting held on the 18th of Feb at Bunjil Place. If you haven't seen or heard anything about it, I'll give you a quick rundown on what happened. Firstly, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who turned out. There was 200 plus people who came to the meeting. I just want to say thank you, and thank you to everyone for not being violent or stupid or doing anything to ruin our reputation as car people. And I know there was other people there for other topics, but I would say majority of the people there were for the permit scheme that the council's trying to introduce or have introduced. Now, were we perfect little citizens? No. We made the council feel our anger towards them, and it was bloody delightful to see. Really, it all started with the start of the meeting. They wouldn't let everybody in, so a chant came up in the room, let them in, all screaming. So then we all moved our chairs forward and we got the rest of the people into the back of the room. As soon as they started, really, they copped it. Like, the amount of times the mayor had to say, to be quiet, they're not going to continue until it's quiet, was up there. I can tell you that. There was a lot. And then, it didn't get off to a good start for the council. They pretty much got booed for everything. The welcome to country, the welcome for LGBTQ+, that all got shut down, and yet they proceeded to carry on reading on that. But come to the public questions, that's when, as the residents, really got stuck into them, and that's when we really got into them. Now, the responses that the council were giving were utterly ridiculous. Now, take for example the questions that I asked. They gave responses exactly how they've worded their website back in early Jan, and it's just like every question was just back to a response like that. It was utterly ridiculous. Nobody gave a proper human response. It was all like a computer generated AI answer.
Next question from Traveller. Can the council explain how the proposed permits for unregistered vehicles, recreation vehicles, long heavy vehicles and temporary dwellings balance the need for community regulation with the rights and practical needs of residents? Additionally, what specific community concerns or incidents prompted these changes, and what measures are being considered to minimise the financial and administrative burden of residents?
Council receives 10,000 complaints each year relating to the Casey Community Local Law. There are 20 local law permits in place for activities on private land, which have originated from those complaints. This demonstrates a balanced approach to enforcement and regulation, where officers look to educate and work with the community members as a first option. Local laws that regulate the use of unregistered vehicles, long and heavy vehicles, recreation vehicles and temporary accommodation are not new local laws clauses. They have been in place at Casey for many years, and similar clauses can be found in local laws for most councils.
We don't agree with it.
The next question from Trav is, if we were to have 3 or more unregistered cars on my property without a permit, possibly causing a nuisance to neighbours with noise and dust, how does having a permit stop it from being a nuisance?
A local law permit creates safeguards to neighbours to limit or mitigate any possible nuisance that may associate with that activity. Conditions may include where vehicles are stored on a property, or what time of day activities can be conducted. For example, a permit may state that an activity cannot commence before 7 a.m. and after 8 p.m, limiting the negative impact on surrounding neighbours.
They did read all the questions, asterisks, and they did say one of these ridiculous answers with these questions, and it just didn't sit well with anyone in the room. Like, it was utterly ridiculous. I'll play some of the video.
I'd like to express there are lots of noting enthusiasts in the southeastern suburbs, so I'm curious to know what gives council the right to restrict someone from tinkering on their pride and joy on their property, and in a society where kids are stuck behind screens continuously. It's rewarding for a father and son to I, for one, object greatly to council sticking the nose into what I do on my property. This will be answered by Mr. Paddy.
A member of the community simply working on their car, tinkering or maintaining their vehicle on their own land does not require a local law permit.
Are the people that are authorising for cars to be illegally removed from private property without documentation going to face disciplinary action and be criminally investigated for theft or trespassing? This will be answered by Mr. Paddy.
Local laws officers are authorised under the Local Government Act 1989. Section 224 of the Local Government Act 1989 states that an authorised officer...
Mr. Payne, just please pause. Can we please get some quiet? Allow the response to be made by Mr. Payne. Can you start from the top, please, Mr. Payne?
Local laws officers are authorised under the Local Government Act 1989. Section 224 of the Local Government Act 1989 states that an authorised officer may enter any land or building in the municipal district at any reasonable time to carry out and enforce this or any other act or any regulation of local law. This means that a local laws officer...
I remind the gallery to be courteous and respectful and allow public questions to be answered.
This means that a local laws officer can enter private land to investigate any breach of
If the gallery continues to be disorderly and abusive, I will have to end the meeting. Please be quiet.
This means that a local officer can enter private land to investigate any breach of the Basic Penal Law 23 and may remove any items found causing that breach of the local law or arrange for works to be carried out to rectify a breach of the local law.
When is the council going to amend these laws which rate-paying homeowners cannot work in a vehicle on their property, nor even to store a caravan or trailer over 7.5 metres long? Many people have hobbies involving working on their vehicles, some registered and some under-registered, such as track cars or restoration builds, and the majority of caravans manufactured exceed 7.5 metres in length. These laws need to be amended to something fair and reasonable without any cost to residents.
Local laws that regulate the storing of unregistered vehicles are not new local law clauses. They have been in place for
Don't repeat
years.
yourself.
And similar laws
What's
can
the
be
reason
found in local
why?
laws in Victoria.
What is the reason?
You are able to keep up to 2 unregistered vehicles on private land
What's the
without a
difference
local law
between 2
permit.
and 6?
Holders of a Vic Roads Club permit for veteran, vintage and classic cars are not required to have a local law permit. Local laws officers are authorised under the Local Government Act. The Local Government Act 1989 states that authorised officers may enter any land or building in the municipal district and at any reasonable time to carry out and enforce this or other
What's
acts
the
and
difference to
regulations
unregistered or registered on private land?
Unregistered vehicles are identified as such by checking the VIN number against Vic Roads records.
That's not what the law states.
Questions were getting loud cheers for them, but the responses were just not good enough. Then it came to, after the question time had come to an end, there was one gentleman who said, "Hey, what about my question? You haven't read my question." The council stated that all questions have been read. they're going to move on. This guy's pleading with them. I've got your email, you've got my question. Why don't you read it? They refused. The crowd got upset. The council then took their first walkout and said they were going to have a 10-minute intermission and disappeared for 20. Now, while chatting through all that, we didn't believe they were going to come back out, but to our surprise, they did come back out. Then it probably lasted another between 5 and 10 minutes after that, and then she was all over. They were up and out. Coppers guarding them, everything. And that was the end of the meeting. So they heard our voice, they've heard us, they know we're upset. Will that make a difference? I hope so, but we have to be strong and we have to do this all again next month. So we need more people to turn up, more questions to be submitted. We need to put the pressure back on them and let them know how upset and disappointed we are with what they're doing here in the city of Casey. To all those who hung around afterwards and came up and said g'day and had a chat with me, I'd like to thank you once again for all your support. It means a lot. But just remember, this is only the beginning. We're only just getting started. Bigger and better things next month. If any more comes to light, I will sure to let you know. And on that note, I'd like to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.